bring on Chris Haynes, because tomorrow we'll know where Zion Williamson is going. We will know. Chris Haynes coming out, NBA analyst now, part of the Team FS1, senior NBA guy for Yahoo Sports. I want to go back to Friday.
Okay. Let's
go back to Friday. One of the great NBA road wins of my life. Vegas had him as an 8-point dog. I look at Houston now, and windows close quickly. The Seahawks window, after that interception, it closed quick. You had to start paying Russell Wilson and other guys. That Houston window this morning, Chris, is it closed?
Look, it might be. It might just be. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that we were going 7 games.
So did I.
I thought it was a foregone. In fact, I said this before, but it was about 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Rockets were up 7.
Yeah.
They were seizing control. I text KD during that time, and I was like, hey, man, Game 7 is going to be crazy. He immediately hit me back. We're winning this game.
Wow.
We're winning this game. And you saw he posted, his reaction, after they won. I think after Clay hit a big shot down the stretch. But, look, if the Houston could not beat Golden State, they had 2 opportunities to do so without Kevin Durant.
Or Boogie.
Steph,
no points first half.
They're at home. This is Game 6 at home, a must-win.
So now they don't have any cap flexibility, and Chris Paul had a remarkable second half, and I love Chris, but let's be honest about it. He is not the same player as he was 3 years ago.
No doubt about that. And he's going to continue to get older. That's what happens in life. We age, and that contract that he has, more power to him, but. It's going to cost Houston dearly. And then look, if we're talking about the Houston's window, that's where I say that their future lies heavily. I'm talking about their championship aspiration. Their future lies heavily on what KD ultimately decides to do this offseason. If KD stays, Golden State still has another 3, possibly 4-year win. Houston being up in that top echelon. Because we got the Nuggets, you got other teams that's coming for them.
Chris Haynes is joining us. I want to talk about Steph Curry. I started my show today saying this. Sports is machismo, and I get it because so many of our great athletes have been alpha and aggressive, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Steph doesn't fit into that nice, tidy window. He's kind of finesse, family guy, not big alpha, recruits others, not into awards, wears those awesome pharmaceutical shoes. He doesn't fit the stereotype of alpha, the killer. But I got to tell you something. He may not advertise it. I'm not sure in the history of the NBA anybody could go 0 points to 33. I just sat there. Do you know he had 17 points? I may have the numbers wrong. He had 17 points with about 8 minutes to go or 7 minutes to go and finished with 33.
It's ridiculous.
4.5 to go. So in my ear, Sam said, 17 points with 4.5 to go ends with 33. Have you in your life covering this league ever seen anything like that?
I haven't. I didn't realize he had 33 until after the game.
So when I watched the post game.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was something to behold.
Why don't players love him like they do Westbrook?
Well, I'll say this, because we tend to gravitate towards the vicious, I'll call them killer mentality.
Yeah.
And with that killer mentality comes a certain look. There's a nasty snarl that comes with it when you're in the zone.
Kobe's clenching his teeth.
You see it with Westbrook. Steph, if he tries a snarl, we'll say that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. You know what I mean? It's like if he tried it, you wouldn't take it seriously. It's that baby, it's that demeanor, it's that wholesome look. But inside, he's a killer. He's a downright killer. He just expresses it differently.
Right.
And people don't gravitate towards that, or they take it for granted and think that they can take shots at him and do this. Look, Steph is that, like, he reads what's going on. He reads what other players are saying. You've seen what he did with Chris Paul. My good guy Marcus Thompson laid that out.
Yeah.
How Chris Paul kicked him out the gym. And you seen after the game, we went to the locker room, like, kick me out the gym again. Kick me out. Steph is a killer. He's just a baby killer. That's it. He's still a killer. That's it.
Okay. Before I get to the Sixers, I spent a lot of time in Portland, so it's emotionally it was fun to watch Portland win.
Yeah.
I got friends who are season ticket holders. I'm watching them there sitting in the arena. It's the second best scoring backcourt in the NBA to the greatest scoring backcourt in the history of the NBA, Steph and Clay. And it's funny because during the game, it's very interesting that LeBron noticed this. LeBron's like, I'll put the tweet up. I don't want to hear about all these analytics. In the playoffs, It comes down to 1 or 2 possessions. I like guys who get me a bucket.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this for a week or 2 weeks. Portland's just got a bunch of guys who get you a bucket. You know, Damian, CJ, Enes Kanter can just get you a bucket. Zach Collins yesterday.
Yeah.
Rodney Hood.
Shout out to Zach Collins. He was big.
Yeah, he Gonzaga kid. So what do you make of Portland? Do their backcourt matches up a little bit with Golden State? Do they have a shot? Golden State's got no size now.
You know I love the Portland Trailblazers. I love what that team represents. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, the way they carry that team. But they're going up against a monster, Colin. They're going up against a monster. And let me say this to your analytics point. And LeBron brought this up. You know, we all know Houston, heavily analytics approach. Only want dunks, layups, threes.
Number 1 in the NBA on that.
Okay, now check this out, Colin. CJ McCollum, he carried the Portland to that Game 7 win.
Yeah.
How did he do it? A bunch of mid-range jumpers.
Got buckets.
You take his mid-range jumpers out of the equation, Portland is on vacation right now. And so at the end of the day, I think people need to understand that, look, we value the analytics. Take it, use it as a tool. But if you're going to take away a large part of a player's game, if his game is like CJ, he gets in his bag and he gets to his spots to hit those 20-footers. If you take that away, then you're taking away a large aspect of the game, and it can ultimately cost you because that's what saved Portland's season.
No question. Think about this. Analytics were not created in baseball to find Barry Bonds. We all knew he was great. They weren't created to find Robinson Cano or Mike Trout or Bryce Harper. Analytics, Moneyball was created to find the AAA guy that was overlooked. You could bring to the bigs. He had a good on-base percentage, and you steal him. And everybody else gives you these, like, serviceable guys that are AAA, and Moneyball said, no. They're major league starters if you look at the analytics.
Yeah.
But Oakland doesn't win because they don't have enough stars. By the way, Boston does analytics, but also goes and spends money on stars. When you get to the playoffs, okay, analytics, Golden State's 17th in the league in analytics in terms of dunks, layups, threes. Houston's 1 because I got better stars.
Yeah.
And so I'm not anti-analytics, but the analytics aren't built to find stars. They're not built for the stars. They're built for long seasons, play out the averages, and you will win a lot of games. These games all come down to 7 seconds and who's got the rock.
Yeah. And like you said, stars. Let the stars play their game. Don't limit them. Like, you rather have a bucket than not get a bucket. Like, if I gotta get a 5-foot, 10-foot jump shot, I'd rather take that than having missed the 3.
It's harder to get all baskets in the playoffs.
It is.
So any basket you can get, take the hoop.
Take it. Especially with the game is so high-paced right now. Take the buckets.
Okay, what do we do in Philadelphia, Chris? They couldn't win a second-round series. They're my favorite team outside of the Warriors in the NBA to watch. They're a lot of hot mess, a lot of ego, a lot of injury, a lot of Embiid, a lot of Simmons, a lot of stuff. I love watching them play. It's choices time, Chris. What do you do?
Look, a couple of times during the stretch, last 2 minutes of the game, they got 2 24-second shot clock violations, which is inexcusable. And this is not, I'm not talking about a cast of players that can't get their shot. You know, it wasn't like it's like 4 role players, only 1 star. You got legitimately 4 stars out there, and you getting 24 shot clock violations. Nobody wants to shoot. That is a problem. Like, think about that, Colin. We're not talking about the Phoenix Suns. We're not talking about the Memphis Grizzlies. We're talking about 4 legitimate all-star type players.
And by the way, the 5th, J.J. Redick, is a born shooter.
And he's going to say exactly. So I found that inexcusable. And then, look, Philly has to – Brett Brown's job's in jeopardy. You know, that's well noted. But Philly has to really decide on if this Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons pairing, if this is what's going to work out. Because, look, we all know the holes in Ben Simmons' game. I didn't like the way he covered that last defensive coverage on Kawhi. Seemed like he just bailed out, let Joel Embiid have it. Game is over, lights out. But Ben has to take a gigantic leap for next season in order to save the so-called process. Because if he doesn't, if Ben comes back the same player,
then the process is junk.
The process is junk, and you got to scrap it. You have to scrap it immediately.
All right, I got to. You're on your phone here. That's like some big stuff, right?
I'm waiting on something, Kyle. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything.
What's going on there? Is something big?
Is something big? It could potentially be big, but, this happens a lot, Colin.
Okay. All right. Just stick around. I got a couple Laker things.
Okay.
All right. Chris Haynes, insider, Yahoo Sports. Colin right, Colin wrong, top of the hour on a Monday. Broussard, Fred Van Fleet, Steven Jackson. It's all coming the herd.
At 24, Melissa Stockwell made a choice to serve